this is going to be a how to repair the clutch on it. I was having problems with the clutch on this the other day. It wasn't locking in place, and the belt was just slipping and burning and whatever. But I have here, this is the good clutch from my other power handle with the snowblower, and that's going to be getting a centrifugal clutch on it because the cables are messed up. But this one here, as you can see, this is the other one, and as you can see, it's burned because of the oil. The slip rings for the bearing are burned, and this is the actual bearing itself. See, it's discolored and scored from metal shavings, and these are of course the balls, the screws that hold it together, and the nuts. But anyway, here, we'll flip that over so we can look at that. This is the actual clutch assembly. Now, first thing, and I actually noticed this when I got it, this is the good clutch. There is a copper slip ring in here that can turn for the belt, and that's missing on this one, which is from the from this one here. But if we look at it, see, the good one here has got this little collar here, while this one does not. And the problem with it is this bearing here goes over that like this. It's supposed to go over that like that, because this little ridge in here is what forces all the balls to lock it into place. Well, somebody must have had this apart at some time, and they had it installed like that. And this edge of the bearing here cut into the collar because this bearing is stationary inside that. And of course, when it scrapes against that, it just cuts into it. So anyway, let's get to putting it together. So obviously this piece, these two go together, and I've already put some oil in there. So then we have two slip rings here. This is the collar that engages it. So we put the one slip ring on. As we can see, this is the side here that goes to the bearings just by the wear pattern on it. That goes on there. And then this, which is the bearing, the race, goes on like that. And then all the balls go in. Now I'm going to put some grease in here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now the balls are in. Now there are 16 balls. Now if you can see, looks like we've got one too many in there and it doesn't fit. But that's actually how it's supposed to be, because otherwise it wouldn't have enough whenever it's released. So then now the other slip ring goes on here like that, and if we work it a little bit, they'll even out and it'll lay flat. So now that's on. Now we can put our housing on it, which just goes on like that and is held in place with the two screws right here. So I'm going to attach that, and then we'll get it put back on. Okay, so now that the collar is on, we have to put this piece in here, and if you see, it's tapered a bit, and that is what engages the clutch. Whenever it's normally running, this is out like this, the balls are actually running on here and in the outer race. Whenever it's pushed, whenever it's engaged, the balls are running down in here and on the smaller race. So, okay, now that this is together, we'll put that collar in, and now we'll get it all mounted and put back together. Okay, now that the clutch is mounted on the engine, we want to make sure that the oiling cap is up. And then, well, it doesn't, at this point it doesn't really matter if the oiling cap is up. But we have to put the washer on it, and as soon as I find the bolt, we will put that on it as well. Okay, now that that's on, we have to put the actuator arm on, which simply just, well, should just slide on there, like that. And as soon as we find the bolt for that, which also apparently fell down here, there we go. And we'll put that on, then we'll try it out. Okay, so now we've got it all on and together. And it works. So there we go. That is the clutch on the Toro power handle. Now the only problem I had with it is that it was engaging and it wasn't releasing. So I ended up having to take one ball out, but it still seems to work. So we'll see how that goes. And the other thing was that the clutch is an aluminum clutch, and then it has a steel like cover over it, and it was originally riveted, but as you can see the rivets wore out and now the steel cover is slipping. So I had to put the end piece here from the bad clutch onto this one. Now the inside piece still slips, but this is more of the driven piece, and it seems to be working okay, but we'll go from there with that and see what happens. But there we go. Okay, and a little side note on this clutch assembly. If anybody knows where I can find a replacement for one of these, let me know. I'm not sure if this was a Toro part or a Briggs & Stratton part or what, because it is it does fit and mount directly to the block of the Briggs engine. So, and if you see, even on the brand new 3.5 horsepower replacement engine, it still will mount. So I'm not sure who made the clutch, if they can be still found, but if anybody has any idea, just send me a message, let me know. Thanks.